Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, it is Wednesday, June 25th. And over here where I live in Canada, it's 12 o'clock. It's noon, and I can tell because my stomach is starting to make some sound. Well, it's very nice to see you here today. I welcome you to today's live session. Uh, my name is Linda G. Robert, and I'm your business English coach. You know, I teach English to non-native speakers, and I have a lot of students who live in Brazil, in China, in Japan, in Turkey, in Korea, and some that actually live in Canada and need to improve their English. In fact, I met one who lives in Vancouver. She's originally from Brazil, and so she wants to improve her English, right? Because English is one of Canada's official languages, and so is French. So I'm really happy to be here with you, whether you are watching live on YouTube, because I'm on YouTube as well. And right now I'm on LinkedIn too. Maybe you're catching the replay as well. And by the way, this is the first time that I do a live of this type on LinkedIn. So you'll have to tell me if you like it or not. Most of the time I do a live on LinkedIn. I talk about purpose or well-being, wellness, and so on, different things, traveling and so on. But this time I thought I'm going to talk about some vocabulary that could be useful to you, especially if you're learning English as a foreign language or maybe even as a second language. So it's the first time I'm doing this on LinkedIn as well. So this month's theme, month of June, it's almost done now, was about business meetings, right? So during the month of June, on my YouTube channel, I had lives that were all related to different types of business meetings. And today we're focusing on a type of meeting that you'll probably have in your work if you work as a project manager, for example. So I'm talking about project update meetings. That's what we're talking about today. And so these meetings are common in business. And honestly, a lot of people get nervous speaking up in these types of meetings, especially, of course, in a meeting where English is the first language and English is not your first language. So today I'm going to help you feel a little bit more prepared, a little bit more confident with useful phrases, idioms, and expressions that you can use right away. And by the way, when I do a live, that's what I tend to focus on, is more phrases that you could use, you know, during meetings or during presentations or whatever the theme is. When we meet live in person, if I'm your teacher, we're not just going to focus on phrases. Of course, we would have conversations and I would be also teaching you some phrases. But since this is one way, it's not a conversation necessarily, I'm going to be focusing on some words that you can use. And you can also include words in the chat, comments in the chat section, by the way, as well. And I'll be able to see that. All right. So hopefully by the end of this live, you'll leave with a list of easy, natural phrases that you can use when you're talking about project updates. So quick question before we get started. Have you ever been in an English-speaking project update meeting? And if you have, type yes in the comments section. And if you haven't, you can write not yet. If you haven't, you can type not yet. And not everyone participates in project update meetings, right? Because if you don't work in that field in project management, you may not ever attend a project update meeting. All right, so we're going to start with some very practical phrases that you'll hear and that you will need to use in these types of meetings. I'll explain what they mean. And of course, I'll give you an example. And if you could repeat them out loud, that would be great. I know you may not feel comfortable in doing that, but if you can, bonus. If you are around people, you may want to just silently repeat it to yourself. All right, so number one, a quick update on. A quick update on. This means you're about to share some progress of some sort on a project. So, for example, a quick update on the report. It's nearly done, right? A quick update on the report. It's nearly done. I'm about to share a progress regarding the report. The report is nearly done. So repeat it with me. A quick update on. A quick update on. All right, number two, we're currently on track with. This means things are going according to plan. That's good. We're not going to be late. So for example, we're currently on track with the new website. That's really good, right? We're going to meet our timeline, our deadline. We're currently on track with the new website. So say it with me, please. We're currently on track with. We're currently on track with. Number three, there's a slight delay due to. Slight delay due to. That means that there's a small problem causing a delay. So for example, there's a slight delay due to a supplier issue. There's a slight delay due to a supplier issue. So let's say it together. There's a slight delay due to blah, blah, blah. Due to blah, blah, blah. Due to a lack of staff, a shortage of staff. There's a slight delay due to a shortage of staff, for example. All right, number four. The next steps are. The next steps are. This means here's what we're doing next. The next steps are, and here's an example for you. The next steps are to test the new system. The next steps are to plan our next meeting. The next steps are, right? Can you repeat that? The next steps are. All right, good work. And number five, I'll need help with. This means I'm requesting assistance. So for example, I'll need help with compiling the final numbers. I'll need help with compiling the final numbers. I need your help to compile the final numbers. So your turn. I'll need help with. So what do you need help with? I'll need help with my English. Some of my students need help with their English, of course. Now, which of these phrases do you think you would use the most in your job? Which of these last phrases would you use the most in your jobs? And I'm going to see if anybody's included anything in the chat. No. All right. And please, if you're watching this on the replay and you want to add something in the comment, please add it in the comments section, because I will be able to see it and I will respond to you. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Now we're going to make things a little bit more advanced now. Business professionals love idioms, and they are very challenging. That's why they're more advanced. They love idioms and they love useful phrasal verbs. So when I teach, when I teach business English, I focus a lot on phrasal verbs and business idioms, because you will hear them a lot and you're going to be very confused. So that's why we need to talk a little bit about them, and we need to explain what some of them mean. So I picked a few of those for you that you will definitely hear in meetings. And this one, I'm sure you've heard this one before. So it is, just a minute. It's touch base, touch base. And this means check in or have a quick chat. So for example, I'll touch base with you tomorrow. Why don't we touch base next week? Why don't we touch base next week? Why don't we have a quick chat next week? Touch base. Say it with me. Touch base. Touch base. All right, here's another one, and you'll hear this one too. Circle back. Circle back. This means to return to a topic later. So for example, let's circle back to that after lunch. That means let's talk about this topic after we come back from lunch. Let's circle back to that after our next meeting, because maybe it's not an important subject to talk about right now. We will come back to that. We'll return to that topic later, but not right now. All right, so let's practice this one. Let's circle back, circle back. All right. Next one is move forward with. Move forward with, and this means to continue with something. So for example, we'll move forward with the launch next week. We will move forward with the launch next week. Move forward. That means we will continue with the launch next week. Move forward. Can you repeat that for me, please? Move forward. Let's move forward with our plans. Yes, we've talked about holidays. Well, let's move forward with it. We haven't talked about them for weeks now. Let's move forward with our vacation plans. Yes, I think everybody, right about this time of year, people are wanting to move forward with their vacations, with their vacation plans as well. All right, move forward. Now, I'm wondering, have you heard any of these before? Are these new to you? Have you heard them in meetings before? And of course, if you have, what I'd like you to do is you can type, I've heard move forward before. For example, you could say that. Or you could say, I've heard circle back before. That's great, okay? If you've heard these words before, write it in the chat and tell me which expression have you heard before? And please write it in the chat box. All right, so let's keep going. I'm wondering here if, because I know there's one person looking at me right now. I'm wondering where you're watching me from. Where are you watching me from? And let me see. Oh, you're on my English teaching channel. So where are you watching me from? Where are you from? Are you from Canada? I'm from Canada. I'm from Canada, and I am in Canada right now, but I am from Canada. Where are you from? Are you from Brazil? Where are you from? And you can write it down in the chat box, all right? Where are you from? Where are you watching me from? All right, now I want to just end with a few tips for you. So a couple of quick tips that will be helpful during these types of meetings, project update meetings. Number one, it's important to be very clear and very concise. You have to get to the main idea fairly quickly, because nobody wants a long-winded update. Oh, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not what these project updates are for, right? They are to share what's happened in the project, but in a very clear and concise way. All right. You also want to use we when you're talking about team progress, even if you did it yourself. So we've been working really hard. We will hit our target. We will meet our deadline. We Even though you worked on it by yourself, it sounds more collaborative, right? Because you are part of a team if you're working on a project. And you might have certain responsibilities, but so do other members of the team. So when you're talking about the project, we're talking about we. We use we as the pronoun here. Also, you want to prepare ahead of time. Obviously, if English is not your first language, you do want to prepare your phrases, your sentences ahead of time as much as possible, right? You want to have a few expressions ready that will make you feel even more confident. And that's what it's about. You want to start feeling confident during meetings, so be prepared. Be prepared. You might need to ask certain questions. When should we follow up with next? When should we schedule our next meeting, for example? So have some phrases scheduled, written ahead of time so that you can use them during your meetings. And then you'll feel more comfortable and more confident with that. All right, one bonus idiom for you. And the idiom is keep me in the loop. Keep me in the loop. It means keep me informed. Tell me what's going on, or at least let me know what is going on in the project. So, for example, please keep me in the loop on the client feedback. I want to be informed about what is going on with the client feedback. All right, so this is it for today. If you found this live helpful, please remember, thumbs up, whether it's on YouTube or on LinkedIn, that's great. Also, you follow me as well on YouTube. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And one more reminder, I have a free practice list, and you can download that list at speakenglishwithconfidencenow.com/list. That list has some phrases, a lot of different phrases, a lot of different exercises too, to help you practice your English. All right, now next week, another live, same time, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, same day. But we'll be focusing on negotiations, so business negotiations and persuasion. That's what we'll be talking about next week. Now, the entire month, the month of July, the theme is business negotiations and persuasions. So next week, I'll be choosing some phrases that will be helpful for your business negotiations and persuasions. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. Yay, it's Wednesday. We call it Hump Day because it is the middle day of the week. Now, thank you for joining me, whether you're here live or you're on the replay. That's great. And remember to practice these phrases, right? The more you practice, the more they'll feel natural to you. So I'm Linda G. Robert. On my YouTube channel, you'll see Business English or English Teacher Linda G. But on YouTube or on LinkedIn, you'll see Linda G. Robert. That's my name. And I'm here to remind you to keep speaking English, because the more you speak, the more confident you will become. That's it for today. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye, everyone. Take care now.